What is up, my butter biscuits? Y'all, I do apologize that I'm like super late on this. However, it kind of worked out because it was actually just an update 4 days ago. You guys have been tagging me in this on TikTok as well as Instagram now for the past couple weeks, and I've really wanted to talk about it. However, life once again has been really, really crazy right now. I've been dealing with like selling a car, buying a car, but then I had to like replace a windshield, just a whole bunch of stuff, y'all. So I've been really, really busy. That's why I'm late to this. However, I really wanted to talk about this because just a few years ago, maybe 2 years ago, we actually talked about Becky G being called out for copying the brand Ola Chola Incorporated, and that was actually a clothing line. I don't know if you guys remember within that video, but I had said, I was like, you know what, that's a very common phrase. Honestly, I've heard my mom say it ever since I was a kid. She literally still says it till this day. Every time her homegirls hit her up, she's just like, Hola Chola, like literally, it's just a common phrase. So I didn't feel like she was copying in any type of way. However, there are a lot of details coming out from Araceli Beauty that they're basically alleging that Becky G with her Tres Luce line, every single time that I say that, I want to say Tres Leches, I swear. Her Tres Luce line is basically copying like their whole collection. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, before we even get into this, I'm kind of like down the middle with it because I do feel like it could be a coincidence. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you hear Becky G's side of the story, but then you also see Araceli's side of the story, like I'm just so down the middle. I'm just letting you guys know. So I'm probably not going to be very opinionated within this video as I usually am because I just really can see things going both ways. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be reading the full details today, y'all. And this is literally going to be the most reading that I've ever done on my channel. I'm not going to be playing Becky G's video. If you guys are interested in that, you guys can head over to the Tres Luce every single time, y'all. Every single time I want to say Tres Leches. If you guys could go ahead and head over to the Tres Luce Beauty's IG, because she actually did post a video on there. It's 8 minutes long. That's why I'm not going to be playing it within today's video because this video would just be way too long. So if you guys are interested in that, of course, go ahead and keep on watching. Make sure you guys give this video a big thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. And let's go ahead and get into it. Also, y'all, sorry if I'm like clearing my throat a lot within this video. This weather has got me so messed up. I fell asleep with the AC on and my mouth is just like so dry. My throat's dry. You know what I'm saying? So I do apologize if I'm like a lot. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and start this off by reading the Araceli Beauty post right here. The original post. She did make another statement, which I will be getting into. Like I said, y'all, this is a lot of reading. Okay, I'm just letting you guys know. So I do apologize if I stutter because it's a lot. So let's go ahead and start this off right here. So she says right here, this is not an easy post for me, but I owe it to myself and other self-starting entrepreneurs to speak up in order to protect our self-made businesses. My goal is to shed light on this situation, not to tear anyone down. I've always admired Becky G and her self-made success. I am happy to uplift women and proud to see Latinas succeed. This is why a year ago, I genuinely congratulated her on the launch of Tres Luce Beauty. You guys can see right here actually in the screenshot that she did post to this page right here that she did congratulate her, and this was taken July 8th. I don't know which year, but July 8th, obviously a year ago. You know what I mean? Anyways, unfortunately, throughout this year, I have become discontent with the ongoing similarities between our brands. I have put my entire soul into my beauty brand, and I feel my brand's uniqueness is being replicated. Araceli Beauty is a Latinx-inspired brand I launched on September 16, 2018, Mexican Independence Day. As an immigrant from Jalisco, Mexico, this brand was inspired by my true identity and expertise as a California licensed beauty professional. It took me 2 years to curate every unique detail of my brand and find quality manufacturers to launch. Adding agave oil to my powders was a unique, original, and authentic idea that would help me stand out in a growing beauty space. In 2021, Becky G launched Tres Luce Beauty, a Latinx-inspired brand eerily similar to my own. We're going to go ahead and get down into the similarities, y'all, right here. But this is where I really want your guys' opinion. Because y'all know me. That's why people always call me naive. Because I could really see it being just a coincidence. So please let me know. So this right here, she actually posted these collections right here. And obviously, like, you may look at this picture and be like, okay, the layouts look similar the way they have the products laid out. But then I'm like, y'all, what beauty brand doesn't do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like whenever you're coming out with the full collection, they're always kind of laid out like that. So anyways, here it is right here. She has her 2018 eye collection, and then she also has Tres Luce 2021's eye collection right there, which is basically like similar products. You know what I'm saying? However, though, like if you look at the color stories and stuff like that, like it's not the same color stories, you know what I mean? So anyways, this is what she says right here on her little bullet point. She said brand story rooted in Jalisco, Mexico, and then also the same thing for Becky G. Then she also has Celi, born in, I cannot pronounce the name from Jalisco, y'all. Oh my gosh, y'all know my Spanish is not it. So formulas enriched with agave, which I guess same thing with Becky G. But this is the thing. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys, y'all, like I said, go ahead and check out Becky G's video on her beauty page if you guys really are curious about this, because she does say within there, it kind of makes sense. Like obviously these are native to Mexico. So obviously like agave coming from there is kind of like a native idea. But then I can also understand where Araceli is coming from. Obviously I do see the similarities between the two, but it's kind of like, okay, if agave is native to Mexico and they're both Mexican and they're both from Jalisco, like it's kind of like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, I'm not gonna go ahead and read all these details. You guys can obviously pause right here if you would like to, but I'm gonna go ahead and carry on because there is so much to read. When Tres Luce Beauty launched, I was flattered to be one of the first 19 people the brand followed. The Tres Luce team never reached out to me, but a week after the launch, I received Tres Luce first PR package. This package was delivered to Araceli Beauty office. Tres Luce knew of me and the Araceli Beauty address. The second and last PR package I received was the Tres Luce liquid liner launch. Liquid eyeliners with strikingly similar packaging, shades, and marketing claims as Araceli Beauty. So you guys can see right here, she has 3, as well as Becky G has 3. So the shades are pretty similar if you actually look at the felt tips right there. That's what I'm saying. So I'm like, I could really see this going both ways, y'all. Anyways, continuing on right here. Araceli Beauty finalized the concept of Las Flores blushes in 2021. Blushes formulated with agave and inspired by the national flower of Mexico, the dahlia. An original concept. In March 2022, Tres Luce Beauty launched La Flor de Mexico palette, a palette formulated with agave featuring the national flower of Mexico, the dahlia. See, that's another thing right there is I feel like obviously you could see the celebrities right there and be like, okay, maybe this is a little bit shady. However, when it's the nation's flower, like, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, say, for example, somebody comes up with a, like, you know, Mexican themed collection and they have the Mexico flag on there. It's kind of like, it's going to be the same because the flag's the same. Do you know what I'm saying? Anyways, carrying on here, y'all, I'm telling you, there's like, we're not even halfway through it. In 2019, Araceli Beauty worked with Irving Garcia, a Mexican graphic designer based in Guadalajara, Jalisco, to bring La Catrina palette artwork to life. In 2020, Araceli Beauty began collaborating with other Latinx artists to work on concepts for lip liners and additional upcoming products. Tres Luce also emphasizes using Latinx artists and graphic designers for their palette artwork. So obviously we can see like it goes on and on. You know what I do want to say? Like huge kudos to Araceli Beauty for like coming through with the receipts. You know what I'm saying? Like comparing every single thing as to where like before, say for example with the Hola Chola thing, it's just kind of like, where was the copying of that? You know what I mean? It's just a common phrase. You get me? She's actually listing everything. So she did say right here, due to undeniable similarities, the Araceli Beauty Instagram page has started to receive comments implying Araceli Beauty is copying Tres Luce Beauty. You guys can see the comments right here, but I'm going to be honest with you guys on this. I do feel like this is being a little bit over dramatic because there's only 2 comments. And I feel like if it was really that big of a deal, there would be way more comments. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, moving on right here, you guys can stop to read this whole Yahoo page right here. I'm not going to be reading that. I'm going to go ahead and read her side comment because this is what she wrote. Araceli Beauty has had an ongoing relationship with Ipsy since 2018. Ipsy is a business partner of Tres Luce Beauty. Ipsy's CEO says he doesn't know that there's anybody who does it quite in that way and is excited to bring that to light. Araceli Beauty is a bilingual brand that talks to the duality of Latinness and Americanness and has done it exactly that way since 2018. And this is her final statement on that very first post. Like I said, there is more. With so many beauty brands in the market, what separates us is brand identity, unique concepts, and product quality. The ongoing similarities between Araceli Beauty and Tres Luce Beauty have become uncomfortable. I am happy to see more Latinas in the beauty space, and I believe that there are infinite ways we can all be creative and authentic without taking from others. Tres Luce, a brand that claims to uplift and support Latinx communities, I hope will stop copying the immigrant brand I've created. Now I'm going to go ahead and read the statement from Becky G herself that was actually posted on the Tres Luce Beauty page. Like I said, she did come out with an 8-minute video. I really do. If you guys are going to form an opinion on this and leave a comment down below, I really do recommend watching that video on the Tres Luce Beauty page before commenting, because I really do think it's important to hear her side of the story, actually hearing it from her. Because honestly, when I first read this, I was just kind of like, you know what I'm saying? But then actually seeing her, then I'm kind of like, okay, like I could understand it. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go ahead and read this, but I do recommend to check that out. So this is what it says right here. A message from our founder, Becky G. As the granddaughter of Mexican immigrants from Jalisco, Mexico, I am very aware that my experience compared to others like my abuelos is very different indeed. But the pride for our roots as the generations came along is no different. Since I was a young girl, I was shamed for not being Mexican enough and not and for being pocha because I wasn't born in Mexico. I was not only shamed by my own Mexican culture, but by American culture too. Some have tried to imply que solo soy Latina cuando me, oh my gosh, y'all, my Spanish, I am so sorry. But since day one, I have always represented 2 flags. I am, and I want to inspire others to be proud of being 200%. Continuing on here. That's page 104, by the way. My hard work is being questioned and I'm being called lazy. I have never, nor will I ever, turn away from the privilege that I have as a public figure today, but it hurts for people to assume that I got here overnight. Nothing that I have accomplished was given to me, it was earned. Everything I have today, I've worked for. I've spent more of my life working than not, starting when I was 9 years old to help provide for my family. I've worked years and countless hours on Tres Luce, from concepting and approving names, testing formulas, selecting our artists, and beyond, because it always has been a dream and a goal of mine to have my own makeup brand. I have dedicated anything I do to our community with the excitement, pride, and true intentions. Our shared culture and the beauty in it has key elements that we are all inspired by. Our beloved Jalisco is known and celebrated for its agave. Our beloved Mexico has only one national flower. Doing business with Mexico was extremely important for me. Celebrating and hiring Latinx artists is a way of paying it forward and bringing opportunities to our artists. Lately, Spanglish was the only way for Tres Luce, because that is my way of communicating and is for many others, first, second, and third generation Latinos. All these elements were important to our brand and not stolen. Representation is important, and making room for more should be our common focus and mission. This mentality over there can only be one, is hurtful to our community than empowering. I'm thankful for the Latinx artists, beauty brand founders, and content creators that have supported and welcomed me with open arms since day one. Our community needs unity, not division. Becky G. There was a lot of comments underneath that post, obviously, that were saying that she doesn't know what it's like to obviously work as hard as the brand owner of Araceli Beauty, because obviously she like built herself completely up. But obviously Becky G too, obviously, as she said, she started working when she was 9 years old. You know what I mean? So I feel like a lot of people really just start throwing jabs, and I'm just kind of like, okay, like, you have to, I understand, look, her as a celebrity, obviously she doesn't have it more easy. She has a full-on team. She has people bringing formulations to her. She has people giving her concept ideas. Like, I totally get that, but obvious too, you can't forget where she came from. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like everybody comes from somewhere. Do you know what I mean? So this is going to be the last thing that I'm going to read, which once again is super long, because Araceli Beauty did respond once again, and it's pretty long, y'all. So I do apologize that this video is so long. That's why I was like, I'm not going to play that video, because it's just going to be way too long. So anyways, this is what it says right here. Becky G, this situation has been extremely overwhelming for me, and I see that it has been difficult for you too. I have always admired you and your inspiring story, truly. For the record, we tried to resolve this privately beginning on May 9th, 2022. Our legal representation reached out to your talent representation and your business partner, Ipsy and Made by Collective. We did not hear one word from any of them. We only heard back from attorneys for Ipsy, who did not take us seriously, denied any wrongdoing, and made no genuine effort to resolve this. Coincidentally, Ipsy is Araceli Beauty's partner too, and has been for over 4 years. On May 26th, Tres Luce unfollowed me personally from Instagram. That's where it's kind of like, okay, if you're going to go and follow like that, then it's kind of like, are you feeling guilty? You know what I'm saying? We posted a story on June 1st that mentioned our situation without naming names. Still, we heard nothing from you, your representation, or your business partners. I do not have your platform or fame. On June 22nd, we made the difficult decision to go public. I believe you are Latin and Mexicana enough to had a hard time coming to a new country where I did not speak the language. I also love both the Mexican and American flags. I have also worked my ass off for everything I have ever in my life. Personally, I have never questioned any of that about you, but none of that is what this is about. For you to say otherwise is simply deflecting. Which low-key, like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I do kind of see the deflecting, because it's kind of like she wasn't talking about her upbringing and, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, her obviously not being born in Mexico. Like, she wasn't saying anything about that. So I do want to say that people were commenting that, but that wasn't the main point that Araceli Beauty was making, you know? Yes, there is room for us all. There is room for all of us to be unique. I can name 20 Latin brands that are completely different than Araceli Beauty. More specifically, some Mexican-owned makeup businesses with cultural rich brands that are completely different than Araceli Beauty. I have never claimed to own Mexico or Mexican culture. Yes, there are some similarities in the beauty business, but what separates us is brand. What separates us all is brand, and it is undeniable that your brand Tres Luce and our brand Araceli Beauty are very, very similar. Sadly, you and your representatives have taken no accountability for the brand similarity, product similarity, ingredient similarity, manufacturing similarity, launch similarity, all of which have been incredibly damaging to my brand, which launched years before yours. I agree, we should not tear each other down, which is why I have never said one negative thing about you, but I have to defend myself and the business I have created by pointing out wrongdoings. There are too many similarities between our brands, which are key concerns for us that are not addressed by you. We have desperately wanted to resolve this matter privately. Our actions prove that. If you want to talk about this, I am available and welcome you to reach out. There are so many innovative ways to bring our rich culture to life. I do want to see your Latin-inspired makeup brand succeed, but the eerie ongoing similarity between our brands needs to stop now. Respectfully, Araceli. This to me, obviously, I want to say as far as the agave like being inside the powders and as well as the dahlia flower, like I feel like obviously those things are going to be there, you know what I mean? But when you look at the colors of things and you look at the layout of things and then you see the way that things are kind of laid out, like I could definitely see how Becky G could have been heavily inspired by Araceli Beauty, you know what I'm saying? But then I obviously do see that it could be just a coincidence. But that's where I leave it to you guys after reading all of that. I do apologize if I like stuttered a lot and got a lot wrong because, oh my gosh, that's the most I ever read on my channel. But make sure you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions about this. I am so curious about this. Like I said, if you guys are going to form an opinion, please watch Becky G's video because I really do feel like that is important. I just feel like it would have been way too long to put in this video. But go ahead and check that out so that way you guys can like give me your full opinion because these types of situations, I definitely do see, obviously, I know a lot of people and a lot of celebrities obviously do take from smaller brands and from like smaller influencers and whatnot. Like I know that, but then when you actually look at things, it's like maybe it is just a coincidence. I don't really know. That's why I'm like really down the middle. But make sure you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions about everything, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace out, Girl Scout.